Hey guys, hello everyone and welcome to the channel. So this particular video is going to be about general aptitude questions. The questions which I remember from the today's GATE 2021 exam. Those questions I'll try to explain you and I'll try to give you the correct answer in this video. So let's start with it. And before starting this video, if you have not subscribed to the channel and if you are new over here, or if you like the content and if you have not subscribed yet, you are reluctant in subscribing it, please do subscribe. It gives me more motivation to make much better content for you in the coming days. All right, now if you have done subscribing, let's go to the video. Alright, so let's talk about this first question over here. This was based upon, like, it was said that in a company 35% people drink coffee, 40% people drink tea, whereas there were 10% people who drink both coffee and tea both. It was asked that the percentage of employee who drink neither coffee nor tea. Okay, now this question, these type of questions are done from Venn diagram, and there are simple formulas also to do it. So let's say that the number of people who are drinking coffee is denoted by NC, and that is 35 since we are doing it in percentage. Number of people who are drinking tea is, let's say, 40, so this is what it is. And number of people who are drinking only tea, 10% who are drinking both. Okay, so like both means you have to take integration. So C integration T is 10. If I show you from the Venn diagram point of view, so if this is the total number of people, so this C, this is the number of people who are drinking let's say coffee, and this is the number of people who are drinking tea. So these will be the number of people who are drinking both coffee and tea both. Now what you have to find out, first of all, you need to find out that how many of the people which drink either coffee or tea, means either they drink coffee or they drink tea. So for that we write down it as NC union T, and the formula is like NC, okay, NC plus NT minus NC intersection T. This is the formula which we use. Generally, if you want to do it with Venn diagram, it's like sum of this plus sum of this. So in that case you are actually adding this shaded region two times, so you have to subtract it once, okay, in order to get the sum of whole thing. So you are adding this region and this particular region two times, so that's why once it is subtracted. So from there only this formula has become. So this is 35 plus 40 and minus 10. This is going to make it 65. Okay, so 65% people are there who either drink coffee or they either drink tea. Now we have to find out that those which neither drink any of them, that means we need to find out this region, this outer region. Okay, that's what we need to find out. So how we will do that? We will just take from the total, we have to subtract this. So total percentage will be 100%. So the thing which was asked, that the person who are going to drink neither coffee nor tea is going to be 100 minus 65, and that is going to give you 35%, and this was the correct answer for this. All right, they are pretty simple. You could have done it in any way, either from your Venn diagram or from the formula itself. If you remember the formula, it's good. If not, you could have done this from Venn diagram. So the correct answer is 35% for this. Alright, so the next question which was here, it was based upon this particular equation. It was given ki lambda p comma q, and these were two conditions given, and then they were asking the value of lambda this. Now one thing which you have to see over here is that the denominator was in the whole division. Okay, the whole thing was actually divisible. So they were actually talking about lambda minus 3 plus 2 comma minus 2 plus 3. So let's solve it. So it will become lambda, and this side it will become minus 1 and comma, this side it will become 1. Okay, so when you solve this, this will become lambda 1 comma 1. So what does that mean? If you compare it with p and q, so basically this is like p comma q, so you will get p is equals to q, because both of them are 1 and 1. So p and q both are equal. So which equation you are going to use? The first one, because here p can be equal to q also. So using that, the value of this is going to be p minus q whole square. Now since you have found the value of p and q, that is 1 and 1, so this will be 1 minus 1 whole square, and that is going to give you 0. So the answer for this particular question was 0. Okay, so 0 was the answer for this one. Alright, let's take the next one then. The next question over here, I couldn't draw this much perfectly, but it was like a star kind of shape was there, and all these lines were of equal length. Okay, all the lines like PQ, sorry, PR, TQ, TS, RT, all these lines were of equal length. They were asking about this angle theta. So to do this particular question, you have to dottedly, like you have to join all these points, let's say, okay. So what does that means? It means ki it is going to become a pentagon. If you draw like this, you can simply see that now my structure is a pentagon, and a pentagon has this particular angle as 108 degrees, okay. So the angle for this is 108. Now since all the lengths are equivalent, that's why this angle x, this angle is also going to be x, and this is also going to be x. So basically what you can say, that this side or these lines are dividing the whole angle 108 in three equal parts. So you will say it as 3x is equals to 108, and if you solve this, so x will be 108 divided by 3, and after solving it you will get 36 degrees. So answer was 36 degrees. There were other options also like 108, 45, 72 and 36 degrees. Most of the students have done it correctly only. See, I'll tell you how you can, like how you can cancel out some of the options. Like it cannot be 108, okay, because it was obviously a acute angle, it was not an obtuse angle, means it should not be more than 90. Secondly, it cannot be 45. Why? Because if it is 45, this angle has to be 90. So since it is not, so fine, that is also not correct. So the only thing which is going to give you the correct one is by doing it, and you will get 36 degrees as the correct answer. If you have done it, it's good. Okay, let's take the next one. This question is a good one. It says P, Q, R, S are sitting in a row, but following the condition, like following condition was given. I have written it in a different words. Question was in a different word, but yeah, the conditions were same. It says P and R cannot sit adjacent to each other, and it was given ki S should be seated right side of Q, okay, and number of arrangements were asked. So simply you can just go with the arrangements possible. So the possibility is like P and Q should P and R should not sit adjacent to each other, okay, they should not sit adjacent to each other. So obviously you cannot do like this, Q and S cannot sit in the first and second positions, because then P and R will come over here. So this possibility is not there. So you have to make this Q and S be seated in the center, and S should be the right side. So if I consider this side as the right side and this side as the left side, okay, so you can see that the S is right to Q, right? So second condition is followed, and P and R can be written like, P and R can be written like this. So now both the conditions are being followed. So this is one of the arrangement. The second arrangement which we can have is just by switching the position of R and P, and let's keep the Q and S as it is. So obviously both are these conditions are followed. Q and S are like, S is right side of the Q and P and R are not adjacent. So these are two conditions. There were more of it, okay, people like missed this in exam. Many people just gave option 2 as the correct, but there are more possibilities. See how it was not said that Q and S will always sit adjacent. It was just said that S should be right side. So if I make my Q sit here and S here, so obviously S is right side to Q, right? It is following that condition. Now P and R can be kept like this. So see, both the conditions are followed or not. P and R cannot sit adjacent, so they are not adjacent. S is seated right to Q, so yes, S is seated right to Q. So both the conditions are followed. So this is also a acceptable arrangement. Again, you can just switch the position of P and R. So this Q and S, just leave them as it is. R and P can be switched. So you got 4 arrangements till now. There are more possibilities. The next possibility is like, if you have, again, this is how it is. I can make my Q and S seated like this, and P and R. So again, all the conditions are being followed. See, S is right side of the Q, P and R are not adjacent. So again, switching the position of P and R, you can make it like this. So Q and S like this, and P and R like this. So total arrangements are 6 arrangements. Okay, 6 arrangements was the correct answer for this. Alright, this question was a good one. It says that 2 sheets M and N of dimension 6 by 4, and there were 2 operations which were being followed. First operation was like you have to fold half by the short edge, and the second was like fold half by the long edge. Now it was said that if both the operations are operated 3 times on M and N, then the ratio of perimeter was asked. So first was very simple. Both M and N are of 6 by 4 length, okay. So both M and N both are of 6 by 4 length. So let's do the first operation. So if it is 6 by 4, let me draw this. So this is, let's say, 6 by 4. What it is, I have to fold by the short edge. So if I fold it once, this is going to become, this side I am not folding, so this will remain 6. This side, since I have folding it, so this is going to become 2, so 6 by 2. Again, if you fold this, so this is going to become 6 by 1, okay, because 2 times I have folded it. Now I have to fold it 3 times, so the third time when I fold, it is going to become 6 by 0.5. So see, this longer length is not changing, but the shorter length is changing. The perimeter for this, you can use either formula or you can add them also, because these are like this. So overall the perimeter is going to be 13. The second one, if you are going to do on the sheet number n, that is also of the same dimension, 6 by 4, but now you have to fold it through the longer edge. So if you fold it through the longer edge once, it is going to become 4 by 3. Now here the trick comes, or here the thing is, what, because they have not given options like to confuse you, but yet you should understand that what is happening. Now you have to fold from the longer length. The longer length is 4, not 3 now, okay. So you have to fold through this. So the next length which is going to be, this is going to be 3 by 2. You have folded it like this. Again you have to fold, just because the longer length is here. So when you fold this, this is going to become 2 by 1.5. So perimeter of this is going to be 7. So answer was 13:7. Simple tha, but then also it was like, since they have not given the question, if they would have given a option in such a way where they have done it by through one length only, or by this 6 length only, they would have make it 1.5, then 0.75. If they would have done it like that, many people would have done it wrong, okay, many people would have done it incorrectly. But since it is, that option was not there, so people got saved from it. They redo it, okay, once they did it through this length only, and then they rechecked and they again redid it, and then they got the answer. So yeah, correct answer is 13:7. So this was the question. Let's go to the next one. Okay, the next one is from the verbal analysis or verbal aptitude. It says getting to the top is dash, then staying on the top. According to me, it should be easier. I am not a grammar expert, or I'm not an English expert, but yet I think easier should be correct as far as what I know from the grammar thing. Okay, so it should be option number B as the correct one. Alright, so the next question was like this. It was given that two operators were given, this plus operator and dot operator. The plus operator was mentioned like this, the dot operator was mentioned like this. They were saying that if x plus y is equals to 2 dot 2, so what is going to be the relationship between x and y? How to solve this? You have to just operate this. So x plus y will be x square plus y square upon xy. I'm just putting in the place of px in the place of qy, okay. And on the other side, I'm just going to put 2 and 2. So this is going to be 2 square divided by 2. So on solving this, I'll get x square plus y square divided by xy, and on this side, I'll get 4 upon 2. That will make it 2. So x square plus y square will become 2xy, and this is going to be x square plus y square minus 2xy is equals to 0. Or you can write down x minus y whole square is equals to 0, or simply you can say that this is equals to, like, x is equals to y. So the relation between them was x is equals to y. So this was very simple. You just need to know how to do it. All right, let's take the next one. The last question which I have, one of the question was there which I cannot take in this slides or in the class, because I don't remember the exact terms for that. It was like some like mental world, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, that was one of the question which I couldn't take in the class. So this was given key on the x-axis you are going to have a mirror image of it. So what is going to be that? So what you have to do, just write it down as it is. Many people did it wrong actually, okay. So this is going to be something like this, okay. I'll just make it. I don't know, many people did n like as it is, but n will also get inverted, okay. N will also get inverted, and then you have a, then you have I, then you have r, sorry, the r should be like this only, and then you have t. So you have to see, many people did what they did, they kept n as it is. That's not correct, okay. N also will get inverted. You have to see that if this is the mirror, if this is the lower point, this should match with this. If this is the away point, this should be away from the mirror, okay. So mirror follows the lateral inversion, so the point which is near to it will remain near, the one which is away from it will be away. So that's what it is, okay. So just match all of them and you will get it correctly only, okay. So this is the answer for this. Alright, so I have taken those questions which I remember. I think all the aptitude questions we have done except one of that. And this is all about this particular video. I hope you guys understood it, and I hope most of you have done this aptitude part correct. I was continuously telling you to do aptitude questions because it's very important, and this time GATE has asked very simple GATE like aptitude questions. So if you did it, it's good. If you missed or if you did it wrong, and no problem, just learn from this and utilize it in the further exams or in the future exams. All right, so that's all from my side, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have a great day. Bye bye.